right. I'll say I have an injury update here for you guys. Kari blasting game and Lucas have been full the last 2 days. They look great, so they're on track to play. That's great news for us. Deontay Foreman, we're still waiting to see. Again, he's been limited the last couple days. We'll see where that goes in the next 48 hours. And again, it's all going to be depending on how that goes in the next 48 hours. And then, you guys see that Noah's out again. And then Tyreek Stevenson tweaked his ankle during practice on the turf. So, again, he's getting that evaluated right now. And we'll see where that is in terms of the, severity of it or, his ability to play. So we'll see. Okay. A solid week of practice. We had that bonus day in there, which was good. We had the extra walkthrough day, which I think was really good for preparation, starting on Wednesday, a normal Wednesday practice, and then working through to that Thanksgiving Day. I thought we did a nice job cleaning up the corrections we need to do on the first and second down day, and then working forward to our really third down and 2 minute. Some specialty situations going into Thursday, and then Thursday was a solid practice along with today. So. Guys have a lot of preparation to go. I always talk about having their body, getting their body right, to preparing their minds. I always tell them that separation is in our preparation in the last 48 hours. And then really getting their spirit right, getting their passion right for the game, so we come out and play with great energy, because that's a really good the winning edge. Is to have that. You got to have that winning edge to be able to play with passion during the game, and that's a build-up process for each individual player. And the guys will be in the process of doing that as we go through these next 48 hours. So with that, open up to questions.
Matt, do you feel like Tremaine is good to go 100%, or is he going to be on a rotation again?
Yeah, I do feel Tremaine is ready to go. Just by the way he looks, he looks quick. He's got his speeds back, and he feels good, and looks good on practice. So we're pleasantly happy, that he's on track.
The Vikings are the first team you played before. I'm just curious, as a coach, how you feel about rematches as a measurement of your coaching and your staff to be able to respond to what the other team did and to anticipate what they might do. That chess match. How do you value that? How do you view that as a coach?
Yeah, I do value that. That's an important thing when you're playing division. Division opponents. You get that every single year, and I've been in the league a while, and certainly went against different offenses multiple times, and you certainly have to change your looks and change the way you do things, and certainly adjust. And it's no different on offense, and certainly on offense we have to do a better job with the protections, and do a better job with the pressure looks. And our guys have worked their tail off on that, and so we'll see where it is, but it looked good all week.
With Terrell Smith coming back last week, you guys working him in. If he's got to step in for Tyreek, what do you like about him?
Yeah, Terrell has looked good, all the way back into training camp. He's mature beyond his years. He takes things in stride. He takes coaching really well. So Coach Hoke's a really good corners coach, for a long time, and he's done that for a while, and he really soaks everything in. So he's technique sound, fundamentally sound, and he's got really good speed. And we like his size. Being able to play against bigger receivers. So that's kind of a trend in the league. Those big type receivers, and he does a good job against those guys.
Matt, when you see this Vikings team now compared to the one you played in Week 6, how different or how similar is this Vikings team as you look at it now?
Yeah, I think scheme-wise, very similar. Obviously with a changing quarterback, they've adjusted, to the quarterback's strengths, and you can certainly see that. Defensively, pretty much the same, with a little bit more multiplicity. They've changed a couple looks and some different pressure packages, but pretty much the same. And we'll see with where Justin if Jefferson's in or not. And certainly they didn't have him last time, but again, that's we have a contingency plan for that if he is. I know he's been limited all week, and we'll see where it goes.
They called him questionable a couple minutes ago, and they're taught. How much do you read, or do you have somebody read about just kind of the tenor of what they say about him? When you guys try to guess just how much you have to be worried about him playing?
Yeah, you're always mindful of what the other team's doing and saying. You always have somebody monitor that or people that monitor that and give you back the news and what's been said during the course of the week, and I think everybody does that. But we'll see where it is, and certainly a great player, one of the best receivers, in the business. And, we've worked on if he is or if he isn't, so we'll be ready.
Is it complicating that they don't have to take him off IR until 3 o'clock on Monday, or does that give you a little more lead time than 90 minutes before the game?
No, I think you just have to prepare that he's going to be in there. I really do. I just think you have to prepare that he's in there, and then if he's not, then you just adjust accordingly.
Matt, with Tyreek, obviously he had the two big plays last game, but sorry, my voice is. But where have you seen the most growth from him just overall over the first?
Did you go to a college game, Colleen?
I did not.
Oh, okay, all right, I got you. Yeah, the growth of Tyreek. Yeah, it's been really good. It's been solid. You play corner in the NFL as a rookie. First of all, they're gonna highlight you and they're gonna come at you for the first half of the season, to test your water and see what it's like. And I think he's responded. He's had some battles. He's lost some of those battles. He's won a good portion of those. And the biggest thing with him is that you have to learn, right? You have to keep learning and put it into your file so you become a better pro. And you can't. What he's really good about him is he plays one play at a time. He just flushes the play and goes to the next one. Good, bad, or indifferent. And that's the way you got to be as a corner. You got to have a short memory and then just keep moving, because every single week it's a different set. Every single down it's a different set of people you're covering, and everybody puts a different set of circumstances in front of you in terms of their skill level. And he's learned how to adapt his skill to the people he's covering, and really what's effective against that particular receiver.
The guys were talking about how they're curious to see how you guys respond to a pretty rough loss from last week. And they said, practice has been good. Everybody kind of puts their head down. How do you monitor for those things? In what ways are your radar up? And it's such human nature to be crushed by something like that. How do you get them to try and turn the page?
Yeah, you just address it, right? So on Monday after the game, I addressed it and I talked about that is a painful loss and the way to lose. And over the course of a long career, you might have one or two of those during the course of your career, and you got to really think about your body and your spirit. Get your body right, get the spirit right to come back in on Wednesday. And that was my charge to those guys, to make sure that they rejuvenate and get ready to go and have passion when they come into the building and enthusiasm to really put it out there on the practice field, because that's all you have is the practice field. And they did an awesome job on that Wednesday, then taking the break on Thursday with the walkthrough, and they were driven, they were determined, and they were locked in each of their individual meetings, and then most importantly, what you see on the practice field. And it was good. So you can definitely tell it that way.
So you don't feel like there's any threat of a letdown?
I don't.
Matt, piggybacking off Colleen's question about Tyreek, the rookie class as a whole has had some good moments and some bad moments, especially last week. Darnell played really well for 59 minutes. He gives up the sack. Tyler has the misjudged pass. How do you evaluate this group's ability to digest those tough lessons and learn from them quickly?
Yeah, I just see the way they respond. It's one thing to react to something, in the heat of the moment. I always tell guys that you have to, step back after the performance and look at it with your coach, with a clear eye, and then really look to improve on that. And that's what you have to do as a rookie, because there's a lot of things that can come at you, if you pay attention to too many things. And what's important is what's on tape and what you and your coach are saying about the technique and the fundamentals. And that's really where you leave it. And then you go right to the practice field and work on those fundamentals and techniques. You can't listen to all the other outside noise, because there'll be a lot, as a rookie for sure, especially at certain positions. And, left tackle, right tackle, like Braxton was last year, or playing defensive back like, Kyler or Stevenson, or all the guys that have played at young time for us. So they just got to really focus on that and be in the moment, and that's how you get better.
Hey Matt, so much has been made this week of the mindset of the team being able to close games.
Yeah.
But do you also espouse that your best players on your roster, you have to trust them to come through in the clutch times as well?
Yeah, it's hand in hand, right? So it's really about, us doing a really good job of setting the players up to make the plays and putting them in position to make the plays, and then the players going out and making those plays. You can watch that during the course of any NFL weekend of the games we just saw. There's plays being made by the playmakers at the end of the game, and the coaches are putting those guys in position to do that. So that's what closes out games.
How significant would it be for you to get the division win?
Yeah, it's a big game, right? The next game is always the biggest game, and the guys are excited about playing on Monday night, and they're always big.